We're looking at how to smash the extract question if you do EDEXCEL, but if you're unlucky enough to do AQA, this will also work. In EDEXCEL, Part A gives you an extract and you're assessed on AO2. Well, what the hell does that mean? It means three things: language, structure, and form. Well, language is easy, isn't it? You just pick out some quotes and write about them. But how on earth do you write about the structure of the extract and the form? Well, luckily, the extract will be quite long. So to write about the structure and form, you can easily compare the characters at the beginning to the characters at the end. The exam board would have taken really great care to make sure that there's a change between the characters at the beginning and the end. That's how they will have selected the extract, and so you can easily write about the structure. The form could be relevant. So, for example, the fact that it is a play might have particular significance. If we take Macbeth, it's going to be an iambic pentameter because it's a tragedy. If we take Romeo and Juliet, the same. But you don't have to write meaningfully about the iambic pentameter in order to get the grade. Simply looking at the structure will help the examiner say, yeah, we'll put structure and form together, we won't really bother separating them. So do not stress. Now there is another technique. How do you pick the quotes to write about? Who is in control? When writers present their characters, they're always trying to present some as more dominant than others. And once you can see which character is more dominant, it's easy to pick not just the right quotes, but the right things to write about those quotes. Do you have to use lots of subject terminology? In other words, do you have to technique spot? Oh, it's a metaphor. Oh, it's a simile. Oh, it's alliteration. No, you don't have to. If you spot it, mention it, but there is no marks. There are no marks, I should say, for mentioning the technique. You only get the marks for explaining what the effect is. The effect is always going to be to show you which character is in control, which one isn't. Characters always want things, and there's always conflict where they're denied or given things that they appear to want, but those have consequences, like the witch's prophecies to Macbeth or the marriage of Romeo and Juliet. They get what they want, but there are always consequences. So you're going to move through the extract, showing the change in control, picking out any quotes that you love. By the way, if you can't remember what the technique is, you're just going to call it imagery. But if you talk about how the character or the idea develops in the scene, that is subject terminology, the development of a character, the development of a theme, the word character, the word theme. You don't have to be technique spotting. Okay, how long are you going to spend on that? Exactly half of the time of the question, because it is half of the marks. Now, we come to the good part, Part B. Here, the examiners are marking three things. AO1 is two things. It's the number of references you make to the text. So that is the events on the text, in the text, which are important, and those can include quotes, but you can paraphrase the quote or just say what happens. You don't have to have the exact words. I've seen many grade 9 essays with incorrect quotes in them, where the student hasn't remembered the exact wording. The examiners go, allow it, it's exam conditions. Is the student making a logical point about the evidence that they're putting forward? I'll give them the mark. But there is also the mark for the whole task. And so here, you want to compare whatever the theme is in this question, or the character in this question, you want to compare it at the beginning of the text and the end of the text. That, of course, is the journey, the development of the character, the development of the theme. Remember, Each character is a construct which the author uses to present their ideas. Once you start writing about the character as constructs and then you explain the author's ideas, the examiner's like, yes, grade 7 at least. And it's quite easy to do because you can prepare the author's ideas in advance. You already know why the author has written the book or the play, and you already know what they want the reader to think about the issues in the book or the play. And so these marks are just being gifted to you. There you go, 3 marks. Grab them, stick them in your essay. You are also asked to write about the context. Now this is a gift. Don't think of context as something that you just dump into your essay to prove that you know about the context and therefore to get the context marks. Oh no. Think about the author's idea. The author's idea will always be relevant to whatever was going on at the time. Guess what was going on at the time is called? That is the context. So the context acts as a bit of evidence that you put forward to prove what the author's idea was. Christmas Carol, Malthusian economics is the context. The Poor Law is the context to prove Dickens' idea that we must treat the poor as human beings rather than surplus population to be killed. In Macbeth, the context, of course, is the fear of witchcraft. It's King James's fascination with witches. It is the gunpowder plot, all of which feed Shakespeare's purpose, A, to flatter King James, B, to write a cautionary tale to warn the nobles in court not to try to assassinate King James because they will suffer the same fate as Macbeth. So, context always linked to the author's purpose, always giving you at least grade 7. How long are you going to spend on that? Half of the exam time. The more you write about the author's purpose, the higher your mark. Remember, how do we do the whole text? We look at the theme or character at the end, compare them at the beginning. I did that in reverse because I'm stupid and I'm excited because the exams are coming up. You are used to seeing loads of AQA videos on my channel, and you might think that my guides are only for AQA, but not so. The play and the novel are exactly the same whatever exam board you are studying, and so they are gold dust to you, but they are priced much more cheaply than gold. This video was supposed to be a 60-second short. I sell them on my website, mrsallisteachersenglish.com, for £2.99 because I want to make more shorts. But this one was just too juicy and too good, so you get the full thing. You are welcome. Why not check it out? So, if you would like to get ahead with Macbeth or A Christmas Carol, these are the videos for you to watch next.